guys, and welcome back to another episode of From the Shadows. And as always, guys, if you are enjoying the series, please do leave a big old like on the video. That would be fantastic. Now, let's get into things, basically. We're going to do a question of the day. Let me just choose one off my list, because, as usual, I've, forgot to do so. So, question of the day, how do you say names so well? I don't, do I? I don't know. I've had a lot of criticism about the way I pronounce names in the past, so I just assumed I didn't. I do try and put a lot of effort into getting names right, because, for me, it's someone's name, you know? I like to try and get names right, be it teams, be it players, be it places, you know, just because I quite like it. I like learning about linguistics and whatnot like that, and, you know, I learned a lot about that doing my Serbian save, because the names are pronounced so differently to usual. So, there's not really much you can say on that, but if you do have any ideas for a question of the day, do drop them in the comments with the hashtag QOTD. Right, in our last episode, we were sadly beaten 6-0 by PSG, and also 2-1 by Dortmund, which knocked us out of the Europa League, which is a shame, because for me, we had a bloody good run, and if it wasn't for those meddling kids, if it wasn't for Ruiz, we might have had a better chance in that game. I'm not saying we would have gone through still, but we were certainly in a much better position before he got sent off, let's put it that way. That's undeniable. And it kind of sent us into a little bit of a downward spiral in the league. We played against Nantes in the next match, and we just weren't good enough. They were very, very good, and admittedly they have been good for some time now, but they were just so much better than us on the night that there was nothing we could really do. Josip Drmic gave them the lead in 17 minutes before Emmanuel Riviere, of all people, made it 2. We got them back through Cherry, then Riviere made it 2-1. Then Drmic added a third, and there was nothing we could really do about that. It was just a shame, but you have to move on when you get results like that. And I figured we'll go into the game against Lyon, albeit away from home, to try and get a bit more confidence back. But as you can see, we've actually played 4 league games in a row away from home, and I believe that's as a result of us playing 4 league games at home in a row earlier in the season, which kind of did help us jump up the league a little bit and gave us somewhat of a false position, I'd said at the time, basically. But we did play Lyon next, and frankly, didn't embarrass ourselves. We weren't that good in terms of on paper, though. The stats we actually created were not fantastic, but Luis did get off the mark for us, which is always nice to see, giving us the lead, in fact, but then they flipped it on us so quickly with Lassina Keita, Alexandru, Maxim, and then the penalty as well, making it 3-1. The injury to Cherry early on did not help one bit, and he has actually missed a lot of the games this month, which means we've actually been playing Aslan up top. It's not been a good month for injuries, let's put it that way. Aslan did score a goal in this one, so it's nice to see him slightly getting back to his old form. Sorry about that, guys. I don't really know what happened. It seems that FM minimised itself. As it does. That's the problem with dual screen. Sometimes if you click ever so slightly to the left, it just closes the whole lot, and that of course means the recording stops and starts again. So we've had to kind of mess around with that to get it working again. Right, so in the next match, though, we did get ourselves a win, surprisingly, against Nantes, although this time we were at home, and I think that's what made the difference in this game. We were absolutely superb, but it still took us until extra time to get past them. Goals from Matas and Aslan gave us the lead in the end, after, of course, Ducourte's goal in between. But a late equaliser from Rocheteau from Nantes gave them an equaliser, but it took until the 114th minute and lots of pressure for Jeremy Aubin to put us in front, basically. We had also missed a penalty, which is annoying because we seem to be missing a few more, and I really do need to try and cut that out of our game because it is not wise at all. But we are through to the next round of the Copa de la Ligue, although, as you can see, later on, we did in fact go out. We've played quite a few games this month, actually. Finally, though, we got ourselves a win against struggling Troyes, and we deserved it. On the night, we were the better side. We came from behind with Bahabek's goal early on, Dominic Gabe and Quinta Pereira, this time from the penalty spot, scoring, so he needs to take more penalties, clearly, giving us a 2-1 advantage, which was perfect. Moving a lot of players around, as you can see, Aslan, he's not an ideal striker as a substitute. He's better than the other players we've got, basically, with Djorkaeff being out on loan. He would obviously play. Next up, though, we had Stade Caen, a team that has somewhat been our bogey team over the years, and we beat them, finally, getting an away win as well. They had a man sent off, but that was after we were already in front. Aslan did finally score a goal from his striking position. I think that might be the first time that he's actually scored whilst playing up top for us. But then Thomas Lemar was sent off for them, and that kind of killed the game off in a sense, because they didn't really offer much after that. They were good before that, and the goal that we scored was against the run of play, but after that there was not a lot from them, to be honest. Next up, we had what is much tighter than it should have been. A game against a side aside from either the third or fourth tier of French football, and we made it very hard work of it. But as you can see from the lineup, you know, with the likes of Frick, Hlavacek, Sidibe, Philippe, Mbar, Matas, Mercier, Mazwari, Luis Chevalier, and Stroma up front for us, who did actually get his first goal, though, which was nice to see. We were a bit poor, to be honest. We took a 3-0 lead at half-time. An own goal, then a goal from Stroma, and one from Mbar in the right end, no less. gave us a 3-0 advantage, but in the second half, they really did start to step it up. And we actually had some of the better players on by that point. If you look, Ruiz and Aslan were both on the pitch while that happened. So, not just down to our youngsters this one, it was a bit of a scraper. But thankfully, we are through to the next round of the Cup. And our final game this month, or this episode, I don't know why I even say this month anymore. I don't do it by months. That was what I used to do back in the day when I was doing Portsmouth. We played against Lyon in the Cup, but we just weren't good enough. Goals from Gonalons and Nolan Roux, which is a glorious name. It sounds like Kevin Nolan. It's like Kevin Nolan's French cut. Is he a real player? Yes, he isn't a real. Okay, fair enough. He's a real player. I shouldn't really be questioning that at this point in the save. We're only like 7 years in. There's not regens populating every team just yet. Although we do have a few in ours, but that's just because that's how I like to play the game. Saves you getting the same old players every single time with wonder kids and whatnot. So, that has all left us in a very interesting position, and that position is 4th. Now, we do still have a game in hand, which could take us up as high as 3rd, although goal difference-wise, it's slightly iffy a bit now, because that 6-0 against PSG has not done us any favours. However, we're still looking good to hopefully get ourselves into Europe again, and that's kind of the plan for me this year, to consolidate and build, basically. I didn't want to try and go for the title this year. Well, obviously I would love to, but I just didn't think we were going to be capable of it. And this year, the main plan is to get back into Europe, be that... Obviously, it would be lovely to get Champions League, but I don't think we're going to be quite good enough to do that. But Europa League again would be fantastic, so we can continue to build and continue to press and build this team up a little bit better. You'll notice that Clarence Seedorf is now manager of Toulouse, so interesting, replacing Hervé Renard of all people. PSG have got huge injury troubles, and I believe that might be responsible for the way they've had to play this season a little bit, but they have started to drag themselves back up the league and are now up into 2nd with 3 points behind. So, taking a quick look at the squad, Cherry is top scorer with 19 in 27, which is pretty damn good. Barguzi is just in behind there, and Park Jae-won, unfortunately, who is injured. As you can see, we've got a few injuries with Luis, Cantini, Musavu King, Park Jae-won. It's not ideal, so it might still be a bit of a threadbare squad today against Bordeaux, but I still think that we've got the beating of them, hopefully. Assist-wise, Park Jae-won is also the leader of that. As for value, Alberto Cherry still tops that, but lots of players starting to queue up behind him now, and that's what I was trying to get at. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Right, also, that reminds me, what I was going to do is I wanted to see how the loanees are getting on, and that's a fair point. So this is the loan report. This is not the best approach. What do I want? I want stats, really, don't I? Right, here we go. So, in terms of the loanees, as for average rating, so Jacko's doing the best, but he has only played 2 games. Guillaume is having a good time out on loan. Djorkaeff scoring a few goals. But yeah, so if you are interested in who we've got out on loan and doing whatnot, that is the players that are out on loan from us. As you can see, there's quite a few of our youngsters are all out on loan, trying to get them some first-team football, basically. That's the plan generally behind it. I'm just going to check and see if there's anything else I have forgotten to talk about. And no, we will do squad reports, of course, at the end of the season on both my saves now, just so you guys can see how the players are progressing. That's sort of the reason I wanted to do it. I used to do it, but we sort of ran out of time a lot of the time in episodes. So, this is our game in hand, and for me that is a massive deal for us, because Bordeaux are not exactly bad in the league. They're only 3 points behind us, and this would give us a nice big gap over them, and a 5-point gap back to the teams below us. In fact, it would get us back into the race for Champions League places, potentially, although I do still feel that we'll probably fall slightly short towards the end. So, players coming out, and Bar's on international duty, of course he is. African Cup of Nations, no doubt, going to score own goals for a different country this time. Cherry, Pereira, Aslan, Gape, Uchan, Matas, Ten, Oban, Phillips, and Ruiz. Bulens is back in training, I believe, but he's not fully fit again yet, so that's the problem. Matas is getting some game time, and he's not done awful. 6.88 isn't brilliant, but he's also scored 2 goals, so not all bad. We should have the beating of these guys tonight. I'd like to think that we do, but we're a bit hit and miss with this system, even now. As you can see from the result we had in the last live com, the 6-0 against PSG was hardly fantastic. 125th appearance, that's fantastic, actually. Well, you say that, but are we really going to miss him that much? As usual, don't know who that is. Wow, okay, this is a lot of questions for a tunnel interview. Usually we don't get that many. They're going with quite a wide system, but is that Javier? That is Javier Mascherano, it must be. And of course, Winston Reid is, of course, there too, which is a very strange signing. What's the weirdest signing you've seen on FM? I'm just curious, because for me, things like that, Winston Reid joining Bordeaux is a slightly one out of left field to me. You don't often see... You see the English players going abroad more so on FM than you do in real life, that's for sure. But I suppose that's the way that the game is kind of programmed. It's very difficult to stop them from doing that. So, I'd like to see a win. It doesn't matter whether it's emphatic or not, as long as it's a win and it gets us back up. Cherry nearly getting into the box within the first, well, minute of the game, which would have been a perfect start for us. They've got a lot of possession early on, but that might be a false... No, that's not false, is it? They've actually started this game quite well. Okay. Uchan out of game, but that doesn't mean we're going to lose. You know, Still looked fantastic so far this season, for the most part. Ruiz out wide, that really do something good for us. He's been a bit of oh! Yes, sorry, get in there. 20th goal of the season for Alberto Cherry. He doesn't actually score that many goals like this. It's a strange one, because that's clearly what he's good at. He's a big, strong player, and he's fantastic in the air. But the issue is that he doesn't seem to have as much... I don't know, he just doesn't seem quite as confident in the... Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely stuff. So, that's a good start. Also, I apologise if the audio ever goes out of sync with my mouth. I'm hoping that that shouldn't be the case, but it sometimes gets a bit messed up when it jumps to 3D highlights. It seems to clip sometimes, and I worry that that could... Oh, damn it, we're immediately practically equalised against through Bordeaux, with Lucas Albertengo equalising the game up for them. Now, yeah, but that's what I mean. So if in these sort of situations the audio jumps, I'm hoping that it's not going to out of sync with my mouth. That's my massive hope. Because, of course, the audio is being recorded through a separate application. It's a bit confusing, but I'm hoping it's going to work. I really, really am. Because that'll be very frustrating if it doesn't, basically. I'll be very, very annoyed. Ah, dear. Right. We started okay, actually. We're not on top, really. They've got more possession and their pass completion is better, but at least it is 1-1. But we're the home team. We should be imposing ourselves a little bit more, particularly as we're on control. You'd like to think that we'd get a bit more of the ball. Ball in, that's surely too tight of an angle, but he might... Oh, well blocked in the end. I think that was from... Actually, I don't know who that was. It might have been Matas actually getting back. Mac now with the ball in. Gape will clear that nicely, and Cherry should win this. He does win this, but he's been fouled by Hertot, which is a delightfully French surname, I have to say. He can't be getting booked... Well, he'd probably get booked for that, maybe. But it certainly isn't going to be anything more than that, I wouldn't have thought. No, it's a yellow card for Thomas Hertot. A draw is not really good enough for me. I'd like to see us win this one. We've had a bit of poor luck, or not even poor luck, poor performances in our last few live comms, so I'd like to see us take them and just, yeah, beat them. Beat them to a pulp. That would be ideal. Let's just go on opposition and just move some stuff around. We're also going to do the old concentrate team talk and see if we can boost our shots on target ratio a little bit, because at the moment 7-2 is not very good at all. I'd like to see that boosted a little bit in the second half if we can. But the point is, we've got one shot on target that matters, and that is the goal from Alberto Cherry. But they have got... Oh, Ruiz. I thought he should have cleared that. We're 2-1 down to Bordeaux at home, and it's... We were in a bit of a poor run lately. We had a few games against poorer sides that we managed to win, but now against better teams... Oh, what is Ruiz doing? I mean, if it hits him, it's... Oh, now he's injured. Perhaps he was nursing the knock slightly before that. Maybe he got injured in the process of doing that. Lacking players at the moment, so we're going to have to go with Kylian Philippe, I think. Actually, I'll tell you what. No, we're going to go with Martin Klavacek, just to give him a run out. He is a fullback, he's a right-sided player, and Philippe is more of a centre-back, so I'd like to see what Klavacek can do. Petr 10, Uchan can't win the ball. I'm disappointed with the way we're playing in this one, to be honest, guys. Oh, it's... My God, we have not been good enough at all today. This is poor. We are missing players, but even so, the players we've got out there should still be capable of doing something. I know that it's not perfect with the likes of Perret, but even so, I would have still... Preciado, it's a good strike, low and hard, and Secretus is never going to get there, but I would have just liked to have seen a little bit more from them. That's all I would like. I mean, Aslan... Oh, God, and another injury. Mercier, he's been... Oh, wait, no. Centre mid. Actually, no, Mercier is probably the best one we could bring in for a centre mid role. You might notice Ibrahim Asila also made the bench for today's game, which is surprising. Oh, God, don't let him have another one. Albertengo, well blocked in the end by Sigris, but worries and lots of worries. That's what I would say, guys. Mac, damn it. Reed to Mac to Thiam. Don't foul him. Oh, I think we might have to go attacking here, guys, because we're losing by 2 goals here, and they're actually getting... They've got the work. They've got... Oh, wow. What an opportunity. Right, we're going to go... not overload. We're going to go attacking. We've already made 2 substitutions as well. We've not been good enough today. Bordeaux have been superb. And... Oh, my God. We've been very, very poor. Like, ridiculously poor today. Max ball in, and we've... It started so well with Cherry's goal, but what is this? It's just a massive melee of players. None of our players are able to clear it, and Albertengo puts it in the back of the net for 4-1. That is a shocker of a performance. Bordeaux are good, but they're not that good. And that would actually level them up, and once again, our goal difference has disappeared. We were really looking quite solid. Oh, not another one. Max ball in this time, and he's got around him again. we should have been practicing defending set pieces quite clearly, because that's where they've got us in today's game. Their set pieces have been superb, and ours... Right, here we go. Let's get one back. Mercier's ball in. Flick down and surely just run after it. Could he be running any slower right now? Mercier's ball in. Cherry with the header, and it's another goal, another header for Alberto Cherry, getting us a bit of... well, not even confidence back, really, because he's been very, very poor. What I would say, though, is in the second half, both of our shots have been on target. Lovely ball in from Mercier. Brilliant header from Cherry, but what does it really matter at this stage? We need another one, really, and we're not going to get it, and it's a shame. Oh, for fuck's sake. Alberto Cherry is injured in the end. I hope that isn't too serious. I really do. It was disappointing. It was very disappointing in the end. I would have liked to have seen a lot better from us, frankly. But I can't believe our goal difference is back to being 0 again. Or no, 1 now because of that late goal. Hopefully Cherry isn't too badly hurt. That would be the worst thing we can have right now. Ruiz is out for... oh, thank fuck for that. Right, okay. In the next episode, I'm thinking we'll do a home game against Saint Etienne. Since we're out of the Europa League now, we've got to sort of pan out nicely for the... so we'll do Saint Etienne, then probably Stade Caen again, then perhaps Paris Saint-Germain in the next one after that. So guys, if you like what you've seen, and I hope the facecam hasn't been too messed up, but I'm going to try and edit it as best I can to try and make it work as best I can. But yeah, if you have enjoyed what you've seen, please do drop a like on the video. That would be fantastic. If you'd like to even more than that, please do subscribe to my channel for more Outcaster icons and From the Shadows in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I will see you guys in... not 5:30 and 8 o'clock, I've done it again. 7 o'clock, and I'll see you guys in the next episode for the home match against Saint Etienne. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.